Ah! Fuck, man. I was gonna eat something sweet, something real quick.
I have no idea what you just
I suck. I suck balls. Oh, there it is again.
There it is.
Eek.
This is going to be a dick podcast. Considering that our dicks are the whole reason that we're in this podcast.
This is true.
Seems
story.
appropriate.
I was gonna eat something real quick, but I was like, no.
What?
Usually has
I
kolaches.
still don't understand what you're talking about.
I was gonna eat something real quick.
Oh, okay.
And I came over. I said, no. Alex usually has these amazing kolaches.
Yeah.
And I walked. I was like, oh, fuck me.
You know what's funny is I thought the
regret
same
it.
thing. I was like, I could go to Taco Cabana. Nah, fuck it. He's going to have kolaches. And I get here and I'm like, cool. All right. This is what we're working with today.
What the fuck?
Oh, my God. Yeah, you're right. This is kind of... Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me put the volume up.
That's better.
Whoa, that's way better.
That's loud.
Oh, my God. I'm an idiot. All right.
Now we can get extra fat noises.
Yes. I'm not sure if this is streaming. I don't know if you want to check on the YouTube.
ZTube.
Because I don't see it here.
Now I can hear myself breathing. Ooh, did y'all hear my stomach?
I did.
Grumbling?
Your stomach? Oh.
Fatherhood Unscripted. Yeah, we're live.
Yeah? All right, cool.
We have two
Yeah,
people.
because I don't see it.
I think one is me, one is you.
Me? No, it's not me.
Oh, okay.
It's probably your mama.
Probably, yeah, you're probably right.
Oh. So my mother-in-law just said it's streaming. Thank
Nice.
you.
So she's the other one.
She's number 2. Boom. All right, so let's get started. Go ahead, get started while I make sure.
All right, well, I'll kick it off. Today's podcast is talking about newborns and how your lifestyle gets flipped upside down. And luckily for us today, you know, Juan's got a 4-month-old, so he's versed in the newborn issues. And Josh has a
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, so you're right up in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the whole extravaganza and bringing baby home and how that affects everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, since you brand new, like freaking 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks. Go ahead, start it off.
Are you awake?
How was that?
I have a pulse. I think awake is a subjective term. Gosh, where do I start? So our experience was a little bit different than I would assume most because we had to deal with the NICU. Thankfully, it wasn't nearly as long as a lot of people. I mean, it wasn't weeks or months on end. It was a couple days, but considering he was 38 and a half weeks, you know, when he was born, and there were no complications the entire pregnancy, it was like, you know, her and I were both worried and concerned because it's like she had no diabetes, no sicknesses, no, no flu, no anything at all, no cramping, heartburn, like nothing at all that, you know, normal pregnancy, not even morning sickness, like nothing. It was an extremely smooth pregnancy. And all of a sudden he's not even 20 minutes old. Nurses come running in. They put him in one of the little rolling carts. They roll him to the nursery. And I think they call it like the silent hour, golden hour, whatever they call it, right after they're born, where they normally leave you alone, kind of let you do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even get that. And, you know, so they took him to the nursery. They're like, oh, we're just going to check some things out. And
That's what they say when they don't want you to worry.
exactly.
Yeah.
So they took him to the nursery. And they don't explain this to me afterwards, but I come to find out that the reason that they took him from the nursery to the NICU was not because his condition worsened. It was because in order to be in the nursery, it's a timed stay. So when you're in the nursery, it's not like a nursery is like minor issues and the NICU is major issues. It's more of the nursery is, and I don't know the exact time limit, maybe 2 hours, 6 hours, 24 hours, I don't know. But there's a time limit, and once you surpass that time limit, if the nurses still need to keep the baby under their care, they have to transition them into the NICU. So me not knowing that, and you tell me, okay, you're taking my baby to the nursery, and now you tell me you're taking him to the NICU, I'm like, holy shit, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, thinking, what else has developed. Things are getting worse, whatever. And we were a few days in before they even told us this. But so anyway, he was having respiratory problems. And
Wait. Okay, so hold on. So you had the baby, and they take the baby away, and then you're a couple days in before you knew what was going on? Is that what you're saying?
No. We were a couple days in before they told us that the reason he got moved to the NICU was not because things worsened, but because he had reached the time limit in which he could stay in the nursery.
Oh, okay. All right.
So he's a less than an hour old. They take him into the nursery, which he didn't leave my side the entire time. I went with him everywhere. But my mom, Jess's mom, and her stepmom were all in the labor and delivery room during the delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And so once baby came out, I cut the cord. She hugged him. Everything was cool. I was like, "Are you okay? Are you good?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, I'm going with him."
How was that, having all those parents in the delivery room?
It was amazing. It was
Yeah?
great.
It worked out? Okay,
Absolutely.
that's
It was
good.
Fantastic.
I've heard of horror stories.
Thankfully, we didn't have any.
No drama. That's good.
No. I mean, everybody gets along so well anyway. You know what I mean? Like, our families get together, and that was, I won't say that was our determining factor in our relationship, but it definitely was a huge plus.
Yeah.
We get together for birthdays or Christmas or Thanksgiving or just parties. I mean, step-parents and in-laws and this and that would always come over to whoever's house, and we always had a great time. There was never any drama or fights or, bickering or gossip. Like, everybody's too grown for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it was
That's
nice to be able to avoid that. So when we were in the delivery room, my mom, who obviously her wanting to, I would absolutely love for her to be there, which she was. And Jess's mom, same thing. And Jess's stepmom, because her dad lives in San Antonio, her dad's wife has been in Jess's life since, I don't know exactly how old, but maybe 15 years or so. So I mean, since she was in like elementary, middle school, so she was a huge part of her upbringing and kind of raising her and everything, especially when she lived with her dad. Mm-hmm. And again, they've all gotten along really well. So she was in the room. It was really, really great having them there. I've never had a baby before. Jess never had a baby before, so it was nice to have somebody that had some experience.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Jess's mom has 4 kids. My mom has 3 kids. And her stepmom has 2 kids.
You never had a baby before,
like physically. I've never been through
okay.
labor.
All right.
I'm just saying if it
Did
were,
I miss something? Is that new?
I'm like, wait, he already has a child.
Is this Arnold Schwarzenegger and Twins? Is that the movie
No,
where he
not
has
twins.
What is it where he's
oh, fuck me. No. It's a
where the
long
dude
pause.
gets pregnant?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Anyways.
I just
Anyway,
meant if it was just Jess and I wouldn't be like, hey, when I went through it, this is what helped me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't have any insight as to what that was like. Mm-hmm. The 3 women surrounding us had been through it multiple times.
I say give it a couple of years in society. There'll be some dudes trying to pop out some babies.
They're trying.
Especially in Austin.
Yeah, trying. Also trying to keep it weird. Anyway, so
how long were you in the hospital?
So
you went in at 38 and a half weeks, and then she had the baby, and then how long was your stay? Because you were in the NICU.
So I'm going to backtrack real quick, and I'm going to keep it short. So Wednesday night was March 20th. She was 38 weeks and 2 days. We get home. So that morning, she had a doctor's appointment with her OB, and he did, I won't get too graphic, but he did what's called a membrane sweep. Are you familiar with what that is?
Yeah, dude, that's gross.
Yeah, it was awful. So anyway, he does it. They put her on the monitors to monitor the contractions and everything. He comes back an hour later, does it again, right? He says, okay, you're good to go home. About 48 hours, we'll be having this baby. We're thinking, okay, cool. Friday night, no big deal. I'll go in on Saturday, knock it out, be off for the weekend. So I go to work on Wednesday. She goes home. She's like, yeah, I'm a little sore. I'm a little cramping, which I'm like, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. Things are starting to move along. Wednesday night, I get home. We eat dinner. We went to go get smoothies. Everything was all good. We're laying down. She's like, hey, my back hurts a little bit. I'm going to take a bath. She takes a bath, gets out. She's sitting on the big exercise ball. And I'm watching a movie, and I'm getting really into this movie. And she stands up, and she's like, I'm like, well, what's going on? Are you okay? And she's like, we need to go to the hospital right now. And I was like, why? What's going on? She's like, my water just broke. And not even a week before that, she had shown me videos of YouTubers that she follows that had done pranks to their husbands about their water breaking.
Oh, so that comes into your mind.
Yeah.
Like,
so I literally looked at her, and I'm like, bullshit. Prove it. I'm like, prove it. So she's like, look, and fucking pants are soaked all the way down, balls soaked, everything. And I'm like, I don't see any glasses of water. I don't see any bottles anywhere. Like,
Must be legit.
okay, maybe
Did you tell her this?
No, absolutely. On the spot. I was like, I told her, I was like, are you serious? Are you pranking me? She's like, no, I'm serious. And I was like, come over here. And so she came over and I looked, I was like, oh, okay. All right. So like, how much time do we have? She's like, we need to go like now. I was like, fuck. All right.
Sure.
So, and of course, right as I get up, I'm like, God damn it, this movie was just getting good. And
What movie was it?
Triple Frontier.
I watched that.
It's good.
At the end, did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, I finally, dude, it took me a week and a half to get back to it.
I wasn't that impressed, man. I was fucking. I kind of left hanging at the end. I'm like, this movie kind of sucked.
Is that the Netflix thing? Where
Yeah.
Matt Damon.
Not Matt Damon.
Not that Damon. It's Ben Affleck.
No, Ben
and-
Affleck. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm not awake. Hold on.
It's not Team America.
Hold on.
I've been through every like good big star action movie. So now I'm on to like the second and third tier of action movies.
Yeah.
So I get excited when I find something I haven't seen.
I was
Anyway,
pumped. Anyways, yeah, we can.
But I
so-
heard it was great. So it wasn't.
I
that
liked
good?
it. I liked
I wasn't super impressed. I mean, the storyline was really good, but towards the end, like the last three quarters in, I was like, all right, this is kind of dragging. They're hurting, and
whenever they didn't make it over the mountain kind of thing.
Yeah, it ended, and I was like, this is fucking so open ended.
What's with these Netflix movies and these alternate like endings? Like they're trying to be different.
Well, the ending was
I feel like sometimes.
it was just weak.
Yeah,
They could have done a
like
lot
that.
better. Yeah,
like
just
kind
a
of like
weak
this doesn't
ass
close
ending.
the
Like,
story
what the
out.
fuck? Have you seen that movie IO?
No,
I haven't seen
IO. No.
Yeah, it's like they're left on Earth, and everybody else went to the moon, one of Saturn's moons or something like that, and they're trying to get off the planet. And I heard it was meh. Another Netflix movie. So yeah, I don't know. Anyways,
I mean, as many
we're
of them
way
as they
off
spit
fucking
out,
topic here.
they're bound to hit a good one. But
I remember
anyway,
when they-
yeah.
Bright was good.
Sorry, we totally. Yeah, I've yet to see that one.
Are you
And
serious?
I love Will Smith, man.
Oh, dude, you got to watch
Yeah.
that. You need to cue
He
that
let
up
me
today.
down with that movie they with M. Night Shyamalan, where he played the emotionless father, and his son was the one that had survived through Earth. What was it called?
After Earth.
After Earth, yeah.
Was that M. Night Shyamalan?
That was Shyamalan, dude.
Shamamalama Ding Dong.
Yeah,
I should watch it again.
I think the son did better than you would expect him to do.
Yeah.
But to have
Will
Will
Smith's
Smith,
son?
who was such a, Jaden Smith. I think?
Yeah.
He's,
Before he
he's
went all
such a
weird.
versatile character, and then they made him just emotionless
Yeah.
dude, and just like, okay, how do you do that? How do you try
How do
to
you flip
make
that
work?
switch? Yeah, that's crazy.
Ugh. Anyway,
All right.
sorry, babies, newborn, boom.
So anyway, I'm watching the movie.
So your movie got
and
fucked
she's-
up. And
Yeah, exactly. So she's like, we got to go now. I'm like, oh, shit, okay. And because of how great she is at preparing in the future or for the future, we already had
Jessica confirmed you did ask him.
Ask him what.
Ask her if this was a prank.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. I definitely did. So you already had our bags packed, like extra clothes, diapers, pacifier, spit up blankets, phone chargers, contact cases, socks, everything, right? All in our bags by the door, ready to go. So literally all we had to do was grab like phone, wallet, keys, shoes, and go.
yeah.
And so I'm getting dressed, we're getting all our stuff, and so she calls, my mom, my dad, her mom, her dad. Hey, water just broke, come to the hospital now. My dad's not really hands-on with that kind of stuff. He's more like, let me know when the baby gets here.
Sure.
But he wanted to be notified, so we notified him. Her dad drove from San Antonio, and like I said, her stepmom wanted to be involved, so obviously they needed to get down here ASAP. Her mom and my mom both live in Hutto, so it was a quick drive. But anyway, they get there, and we check in. It was 10:30 p.m. on Wednesday night. We check in, and contractions are about a minute and a half apart, and it's going quick. And they're getting really, really intense to the point where she's on her side, she's screaming, she's looking at me with almost like glazed over eyes, and I'm just like, I don't have any insight. I felt it was one of those situations where you're like, just give me the pain. Like I just wanted to take that over, but obviously there's no way of doing that, and I had no way of helping her. And of course I want to. Hey, do you need a heating pad? Do you need to rub your back? Do you want ice chips? But at the same time, I'm not trying to annoy her with a million questions when she's just trying to breathe through what the hell's going on in her body, right?
Did you do did she do epidural?
She did end up doing it.
Okay.
The plan was to do all natural, if possible, but not, like, oh my God, will not do epidural. So that was not, the plan was to go all natural.
Yeah. Because I know there's a certain point that they can't.
So that's what we thought too. We actually asked the nurses about it. They're like, there is, unless the baby's coming out, there is no point in which we can't do an epidural.
Oh,
like,
okay. Well,
we've had women at 9.5 centimeters to get an epidural. So as long as the baby's not coming out,
you're good.
Just lied to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember that in what was that movie? 9 months. You ever seen that?
Never saw that.
So
one.
good.
Is that with the English dude?
Yes.
Hugh Grant.
Yes. No, it's too late. We gotta go.
Where he's got to sell the fucking Porsche for an Explorer.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
So really, so there's no.
That's what the nurses told us, because I was under because so basically she's going through these contractions. She checked in at 10:30. They're nonstop ongoing until about 3 a.m. Right. Mm-hmm. She finally looks up at me and she's like, "I need an epidural. I can't do this anymore." And I was like, "Are you sure that's what you want to do?" She was like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, I'll make it happen." Mm-hmm. So I go outside into the hallway, and first nurse I can find, I'm like, "Hey, I don't know what needs to happen, but I need an epidural in here right now." She was like, "Okay, let me call the people." So she called her nurse. Her nurse came in because they have to make sure that before she gets the epidural that she's hydrated. So they had to put an IV in and go through a full bag of fluids, which we're like, well, that would have been good to know. That's kind of fucking annoying because now you got to wait again and again with her, how frequently her contractions were coming. I mean, it was
thinking you're going to run out of time.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it doesn't take, it takes some time to drain a whole bag too.
Yeah. So anyway, they're asking questions, what are you allergic to, this and that, whatever. Epidural guy finally comes in, which, by the way, shout out to St. David's North Austin Medical Center. That is a fucking amazing hospital. Everything from fucking nurses, cafe, surgery team, NICU, dude, fucking top-notch hospital. Highly recommend it for anybody having babies in the Austin area. So anyway, epidural guy comes in and gives the epidural, and within 5 minutes, dude, she was fucking laying back and cracking jokes and laughing at the nurse, and completely different person. I mean, 5 minutes before that, she was literally in the fetal position, just looked so helpless. Like she was in the worst pain of her life, which she was, but it was like, you just couldn't get anywhere. Okay. And she got that epidural and immediately flipped. And
immediately?
Within about 5 minutes.
Immediately.
Yeah. So she was completely flipped, and it went from excruciating, I don't know if I can take this, screaming at the top of my, yelling, moaning kind of thing, trying to get through it. And after the epidural, the nurses were having to tell her when she was having a contraction because she couldn't feel shit.
Wow.
So it's like she could touch her stomach and be like, "Oh yeah, it is getting hard. That is a contraction," and not like, "Oh my god, here comes another one."
How long until after the epidural does she give birth?
So she got the epidural at around 3:30 a.m. Baby was born 6:01 a.m.
Oh wow, so several hours.
Yeah, and the cool thing, so. Again, I learned a whole lot through this whole process, right? So I thought the epidural was kind of like a bag of fluids where you go through it and you're done, right? Apparently, it's a constant drip, and they just continue to refill the machine, and they wean you off like right after delivery, right? Mm-hmm. So they're like, yeah, I want to say they said it takes like an hour and a half to wear off after delivery. And they give her this little button, kind of like, a nurse call button. Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, if you feel anything, any kind of pain, anything that's not just like pressure and tightness, click that button. Yeah. It's going to put an extra dose into your IV. So she's like, all right, badass. She only had to end up clicking it like twice because it was, it did the job pretty well anyway.
Then she did all natural, right? Came right out.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, regular, vaginal delivery. And it was cool because so my mom held one leg. Her mom held the other leg. I stood up next to her face, and I swore up and down I wasn't going to watch. I was like, that's going to ruin it for me. I don't know that I can do that. Like, not interested.
Really? Oh, I'll tell my stories. Go ahead.
And all of a sudden, they're like, oh, my God, you got to stop pushing. And she's like, why? She goes, we got to get the doctor in here now. Baby's coming.
Oh, okay.
Not a problem, but they were like,
gotcha.
We can't deliver this baby. Like, the doctor has to be in here to deliver, so stop pushing. They call the doctor. Doctor comes back in.
How long did that take?
What, for them to call the doctor?
Yeah, for the doctor, when they said we need to get the doctor to the doctor got in. It's pretty quick?
Less than a minute.
Okay, that's good. So he was on standby.
Yeah.
Standby, not boy.
Real quick.
Yeah.
And the longest, so them getting in the room super quick. The longest part was getting sterile, right? That was a big ass thunder.
Yeah, that's why I had shit outside I had to go put in.
Oh, is that why
That's
you
why I
ran
had
out?
to run out,
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Oh,
Yeah.
hold on a minute. Do I have it? No. Okay.
But it was becoming sterile, right? Getting all the lab coat or gloves and the face mask and the bag underneath and all that stuff set up. And that took a minute and a half, 2 minutes, whatever. And they were like, "Okay, we're ready to go." And literally like 2 pushes and head came out. And the weirdest part, so one, they let her mom and my mom take pictures of, you could see the head sticking out before anything else had already come out.
Get the fuck out, dude.
Which I was like, first of all, that's weird. Second of all, I didn't think they would let you take pictures during that process.
Maybe shit
But
changed.
apparently they do.
Yeah.
They said as long as the doctor's not actively delivering the baby, you can take pictures. So I was like, okay, cool.
Get out.
And so anyway, they took a picture of that, and then she was because of the epidural, she was so alert and awake and in tune with what was going on that she was able to reach down and feel the baby's head before it came out. Again, kind of weird.
Who?
Jess
was able to touch.
She was able to reach down and feel the baby's head, because he was probably sticking out about that far.
Yeah.
Before the final, like whenever they said stop, that's where he was sitting. And like, so whenever she stopped and he kind of went back in a little bit, he was still sticking out about that far.
They call that crowning?
Yes. I think so, yeah. And so she was able to feel him. Doctor came in, sterilized, everything was good to go. She was like, okay, push. And so they went, I think it was like a 10 count or whatever. Mm-hmm. They went through pushes, and then like, okay, take a break. Like 10, 15 seconds, she took a break, caught her breath, took a couple deep breaths, and she was like, okay, push. Boom. And then as soon as she hit that first push, doctor was like, okay, here he comes. And it wasn't like okay, the head's out. All right, we got to turn him and do this and do that, and cords wrapped around him. Okay, ready, and put. Like that first push, she's like, okay, here he comes. And the whole baby came out.
Damn.
Slid right the fuck out.
They Vaseline did or some shit. What the hell?
So dude, so funny story. They literally took a fucking bottle of olive oil that you find at H-E-B.
Say what?
I swear to God. They took the lid off of it and just poured it on the baby's head when he was sticking out about that far. Poured it on the baby's head. The weirdest shit. Whenever the doctor was right there getting ready to deliver, and she said, okay, take a break. So in between the 2 pushes,
yeah,
the fucking doctor, I love this doctor. She poured the olive oil on his head, and she's fucking making a mohawk with his hair while he's sticking out.
Aww.
And I'm like, really? Like, this is the time, like, you're going to need to make my baby's first mohawk?
That better not be on the invoice.
Yeah, right?
$425 bottle of olive oil.
Probably.
That's,
and, I mean, they're liberally just
legit
throwing
olive
that shit
oil?
on regular olive oil. Not like sterile 80% olive oil from such and such. Like,
sure.
Regular ass fucking extra virgin olive oil just all over.
Do you have this fucking baby in Italy?
Wow.
It's weird. So they pour olive oil on him, and they're trying to help, I guess, I don't know what they call it, but basically trying to ease, the delivery. And again, that one push, he came all the way out. He was crying. Everything was good to go. Of course, the first couple seconds, they're all purple or whatever.
Yeah.
And
that whole part's kind of
that whole part's kind of weird. But he did have a little bit of meconium.
Sure. Yeah,
mine
new one too.
Yeah.
So they put that tube in.
Yeah, and they suction it all out. Yeah, so they had to do that. And
that's some barbaric shit.
Yeah.
When they're handling a baby, and if you're a new dad, and
you want to punch the shit out of them.
Yeah,
Yo, hey,
do.
Bang! Like,
they're fucking grabbing kids, holding them upside down by the fucking ankle, and like over here, and you're like, what?
like some 300 type shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's wild.
No, not good.
And you're like, I guess they're over the mountain. Straps.
Someone open a window.
Yeah. Dude.
But no, it was crazy. So they section all that stuff out, lay him on her. Mm-hmm. And of course, she's crying, I'm crying, the moms are crying. It's just a huge emotion fest, right? And
were you crying?
I cried, yeah, for sure. I cried like a bitch.
Really?
Absolutely. For sure. Like uncontrollably crying for sure. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, I was an
that's
emotional wreck for probably the first 3 days. So, for example, that Thursday, he was delivered Thursday at 6 a.m. I had appointments Thursday at 8 a.m., right?
Oh, you went to fucking work?
No. I was supposed to have appointments that day.
Right.
I
So
had
you called people out?
contemplated.
Okay.
I had contemplated going in.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm already awake. We need the money. I need to go in. And then they're talking about he needs to go to the NICU. I'm like, yeah, fuck these appointments, right?
Yeah, no.
Of course. No.
So I texted everybody Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I was like, hey, guys, this is the situation. I probably, a good paragraph or so. I'm really sorry to do this. I'd never cancel on you guys. Please trust that I wouldn't do this if I didn't absolutely have to. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
Can we please reschedule for next week?
Yeah.
I was, first of all, I had been up for...
Were you really that detailed?
Huh?
Were you that detailed? And this sounds so like you.
What?
Hey, guys, just want to let you know.
No, I absolutely did.
Of course.
Yeah,
That would have been
for
like,
sure.
I'm like,
baby,
can't-
birth,
yeah.
canceled.
done. Call you next
Call
week.
you next week.
Thank you for your business.
Don't forget to pay on the way out.
Yeah, no shit. If you can pay in advance, that'd be great. Oh shit.
Let me see.
Of course. I knew it. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
And it's funny, during that whole process, Alex and I were like, man, Josh is ghosted. But we totally, understood, okay.
Oh
baby's
yeah.
being born.
No, you've got so much shit going on, and you're
So-
trying to handle family members, and just trying to get your shit together.
So we were just on standby.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, kind of waiting. We'll see
yeah.
if he needs us. That's when you text me. I'm thinking, okay, baby emergency. Let's go. Babe, Josh just texted me. It's an emergency. Oh, his website's down. Okay, go back. You're good. Keep making dinner. I got this. Don't worry. I got this. But yeah.
So this was the text I sent at 8:46 a.m. to all of my clients. I said, good morning. I'm so sorry to do this to you, but my wife just gave birth this morning to our sweet little boy. I'm running on zero sleep for the last 2 days. Can we please reschedule for sometime next week?
Oh, my gosh.
Again, I would never do this if I didn't have to, but my wife and son need me to be here, and I won't be able to give you 100%, which isn't fair.
So, Josh.
You're
then I
too
sent-
nice.
That was Thursday. Then I sent another one Friday. Let me see.
You sent that to all your clients, so you
Yeah.
copied and pasted that to every single person.
Yep.
Damn, you're
It's
detailed.
like 35, 40 people.
Oh, damn.
And then another one.
All right,
Yeah.
I don't want to spend too much
Yeah.
time on this, but
So anyway, it was a detailed interest, and so I sent it all to him, and basically just let him know what was going on, and was running on zero sleep for obviously a while,
sure.
and baby was just delivered, everything's moving so quickly. All of a sudden he goes to the nursery, then he goes to the NICU, and so the reason I told you about that text was I was such an emotional wreck that clients were texting me back, and I'm expecting, because I always expect the absolute worst, so that when it doesn't happen, okay, I'm good, right? And I'm expecting clients to either be like, you know what, I'm going to go somewhere else, or I can't do that, or I got something coming up, whatever. Every single one of them, dude, I'm so happy for you, congratulations, don't worry about it, I'll come next week, no problem.
Yeah.
And it was all kind of to that same effect. And started crying all over again. I'm like, dude, what the fuck,
No
man?
way.
Yeah, because it was like, it was one of those things where, especially building your own business,
Sure.
you try to build your business on certain principles, right?
Sure.
And I pride myself on reliability and consistency and timeliness and professionalism and all these different things
Sure.
that people come to me for from these great clips and roosters and cost cutters and whatever. They come to me because those places don't offer what I offer. And it's not that I'm the best barber in all of Austin. I know I'm not. I'm never trying to be. I'm trying to give you the best possible experience, right? I never cancel appointments. That's just not something that I do because
Sure.
that's what you get elsewhere. So it really... It was a struggle for me internally to cancel those appointments because I never cancel anyone no matter what. I don't care if I'm sick. I don't care if I got to be somewhere else. Like, I don't cancel appointments, right? So it was really hard for me to do that. Once people texted me back and were in such support and like, dude, no big deal. Are you kidding me? Family's first. Go take care of what you got to take care of. Let me know. It was that final click in my mind that, okay, everything that I've been preaching and doing day in and day out and continuing to work towards has finally sunken in. Like, I have realized that these guys are no longer just customers or even just clients. Like, these guys are a brotherhood to me. Like, these guys actually mean something to me and I mean something to them. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to get too cheesy, but it's more than just, yeah, I'm the guy that cuts your hair or your son's hair or your brother's hair or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it was more of like almost like a fraternity. You know what I mean? Like where,
Okay.
dude, fuck yeah. Let me know if you want me to come to the hospital. Let me know if you need food. Holla at me if you
Damn.
need anything. Like these dudes were like seriously fucking down for me. They're like, dude, I do have a wedding this weekend, but fuck it, man. Take care of what you got to take care of. Let me know when you come back. I'm not going anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like just in extreme support, and it was just.
So you were just crying like a bitch.
All over the place.
Get out. I've yet to see that.
And then.
Have you seen me cry?
I wasn't like that. I wasn't like that at all. I think in the military. No, I didn't either. The military was like.
Okay.
You had a baby, great. Crack a beer, fucking go. That's how I remember it. It was crazy.
What? Anything else you wanna? I'm just trying to push forward.
I mean, it was as far as the delivery process,
Baby's
it was
good.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the NICU for a couple of days. It was nothing major, just a couple little minor things. We got him all under control. The hard part was we got discharged from the hospital before he got discharged. Because obviously in postpartum, you're only allowed a few days because he's in the NICU. They have to keep him until they are able to release him based off of certain parameters.
Sure.
We got lucky enough they have what's called a Ronald McDonald House of Care, which is essentially just like an extra room for parents in the NICU, completely free, that we were able to stay in. So we stayed there for another couple nights, and luckily when that one ran out, they were able to discharge him. We got home, slowly make that transition, and now we're kind of starting to develop a routine.
I think coming home is one of the scariest things. You're extremely happy to be out of the hospital.
Yes.
But then when you get home, you're like,
if I have a question,
now
who do
what?
I ask?
Like, now it's on me.
Yeah.
And Google.
Yeah.
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 I remember my first one was before that shit, and it was just kind of like you're calling relatives, grandmas, aunts, and what do we do? And thank goodness my wife was she was really good. So, she was really good with the baby. And I was just like, what do you need? I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know how to do anything. And she just walked me through it. So, that was pretty awesome.
Sure.
And see, it was tough, too, because with my first one, again, I don't want to get into too much detail, but her and I didn't have a great relationship as it was. So I wasn't exactly involved in a lot of that. And I wasn't able to, hey, let me go get you some ice chips. Hey, let me do this. And it wasn't that I wasn't willing. It was more of just there was a little bit of a barrier there. And the fact that Jess and I obviously don't have that, it's like it was like I experienced this for the first time, to begin with.
Sure.
And the fact that it was kind of the first time for me, and then it was obviously the first time for her. We didn't get that first day or two that you normally get in the room where it's like, okay, this is what their cries sound like. This is how you change their first diaper. This is how you give them a bath. Like all these different things that they show you, we never got that.
Yeah.
So the first time we got that was when we were home. And
what do you mean?
Because he was in the NICU, hooked up to all these monitors.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So we didn't he was 20 minutes old. Like she didn't even breastfeed him until he was almost 16 hours old, which of course caused other problems. But anyway, it was just like you said, now what? And it was like, well, fuck. Like we didn't get that period of like, hey, is that a good cry? Is that a bad cry? What does this rash mean? Is his ankle supposed to have been like this? I'm like, what is this? What is that? We didn't get to ask all those questions. So even like what do they call it? Lactation consultants come by, and it's like. You don't know what questions to ask. We haven't gotten to that point yet.
Let's talk about that because that was the weirdest shit that took place.
The lactation experts?
Yes, dude. Because we had a male nurse come in.
Oh,
the first time.
Yeah, that's weird,
dude. First baby, the dude comes in and I don't know what's going on. He's like, yeah, you need to breastfeed like this. I'm like, how the fuck does this guy know? How to breastfeed a kid, why are you sending in this dude?
For real, this sounds literally out of a movie. I think The Office, Pam and Jim, it was a male nurse. He's like, oh yeah, okay, like the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
I've never had that. It was always women.
Yeah, I've always had.
So I would assume it'd always be women, like who's got some fucking experience.
That's
like
right.
Okay, this is how you do this. Roll the baby like this. You need to sit on, lean on your side or whatever.
Nah. So everything's booked.
Dude is manhandling my wife's boob and the baby and like showing her, and I'm just like, what? Is this okay? Do I need to hit this dude? What the fuck?
See, but it's weird, though, because male OBs don't freak me out as much.
Male OBs?
Like OBGYN?
Yeah, no.
Like
I know what you meant. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like, they don't, like, male OBs as opposed to female OBs don't freak me out.
Really?
That
so initially
it
did.
Dude.
It did initially. But the doctor that we have is a fucking rock star, man.
We had a male doctor. He was awesome, too.
Obviously,
he's been great.
They're the outliers, yeah.
Right.
I like, for instance, like, I don't do pediatricians that are not parents.
Well,
I don't want
that's a good call.
Yeah. Dude giving me advice. I'm like, dude, you don't even have a child, man.
Bro, you're 23, fresh out of school. No. Shut your mouth.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that would apply as OB. I would prefer a woman.
I would definitely prefer a woman, but males don't freak me out.
Our first one was a woman. It was an Asian lady. She was badass.
Yeah.
And
I can crack some jokes. Never
I'm trying to remember. I had so many. So the reason I asked was it how long after the epidural, blah blah blah, is
Right.
my wife, because so what we tried to do, because she had a C-section with the first one, we tried to do a VBAC because it was 9 years later.
A VBAC?
A VBAC.
What does that mean?
So it's like you're going back to doing a vaginal birth. But she was, I remember when I was taking a nap, of course. Of all times, I'm taking a nap.
The only time you get to sleep.
The only fucking time. And then, but it was so cool. The way she woke me up, she goes, my water broke. And I was like, oh, boop. It's like, oh my God. All right, let's go. Let's do this. It was like a fucking movie. Like everything was going down and everything was slowing down a little bit. It was kind of a little dazed. And then my oldest, she comes to me, she goes, I'm so happy this is happening. I'm so glad. Literally, like, I'm watching an episode of Full House.
Yeah.
She said, I'm so glad you met my mom. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's have this conversation later.
In the car.
Let's go. So we got in the car. We hurried up over. And then there was an issue because I couldn't be with her because we had the 9-year-old and no one was there to watch her. Called a buddy. Oh, fuck, I miss him. My man, Ryan. I called him up, dude I knew from work. I said, hey, man, I cannot even be with my wife. She's about to give birth. Can you come and watch my 9-year-old? My man got on his bike, was there in 5 minutes.
Nice.
5 minutes, came over. He said, yeah, no problem. Watch. So anyways, speaking of seeing, I'm like going to your stories because I remember all these little things. This is the first one. So this is my oldest.
Right.
We go in. She's about to have a C-section because she wasn't dilated. They said, nope, we got to take him out. So, of course, she cried because she wanted to really do this.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I walk in. She goes, just hurry up and go to the back. I'm like, hurry up. Okay, whatever. I go in. She's already cut open. So, I'm seeing that.
Oh, gosh.
That's some 300 shit.
Woo! Exactly.
So did you see them pull the baby out, or you just saw the incision?
So, fortunately, unfortunately, she was facing the door. So when I came in, I already saw her cut.
You
open.
would think they would plan a little better for that, like have a curtain up.
Every single other, there is. So every single other delivery, the door was on the opposite. So I never came through that angle. But anyway, me being I'm interested. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I would record it, and you're not supposed to record. So there is a barrier. So it's so
in between her face
yes.
and the incision.
Correct.
Right.
So the sheet or whatever like stops here.
Okay.
And so she's just looking up and looking at me while that's going down, and I'm like, damn, she can't even see. Now they do plastic, like so you can see right through.
Okay, so it's like a splash guard.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being on the table having a baby pulled out of your stomach and you're
and she
just
doesn't
watching
feel
it.
anything.
Well, yeah, I know, but still,
I mean,
you're like
feel the pushes. Like with the
Yeah.
last one, the doctor's like, "Oh, this homeboy is fighting it." Like he kept moving. I'm not yet. I'm not ready. I'm
Yeah.
not ready. I'm like, my badass. Yes. so yeah, and so the whole time I'm sitting there, and she's of course looking fucking gorgeous, and I'm like, getting the feels. I'm getting the feels, and then finally he's like, "Oh, it's coming." And I wasn't allowed to record, but I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, okay. One-handed and shit. Oh, you can't record? Oh, I can't record? No? No? You sure? No? Oh, okay. So, like, delay and shit. But I actually caught it where she comes right out.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And
That's
then you hear her
awesome.
cry. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. She's so beautiful. No, I won't
So
say
you
this
didn't
next part. I say
you
this
didn't
privately,
cry
but-
on delivery?
No. I did not cry. I think I was more... Like you said, I wish I can take the pain from you.
Right.
It was more about
More
her.
empathetic.
'Cause I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, she can't even see what's going on over there. And I'm just trying to make sure. She cried. She cried for every single one,
Yeah.
which gets me all watery. So I'm going through that process. That was the first one. The second one was, what the fuck did we have? Oh, man, that was a whole nother conversation. Because we kept moving. We moved so many different places. So
Yeah.
we had babies in all different hospitals in all different states.
Yeah, you definitely had a dynamic situation, that's for sure.
Because she was in Palo Alto, he was in Lodi, and then she was in Staten Island, New York, and going through that process. And then the other one was in
Awesome.
Virginia, and then the new one here was in Texas.
Yeah.
So I had all these different states, different experiences to a certain extent. And so it's funny when you said, so the whole olive oil thing.
Yeah.
So she's gonna kick my ass. So she said that when she first had her first, she had a nurse, like a Jamaican nurse. And I'm gonna so butcher this right now. She said, "Oh, you part of that PPS?" And she's like, "PPS, Pussy Preservation Society or some shit." Because she's like, I'm gonna remember that.
You gotta save
awesome.
it.
Yes. Everything else. So, talk about feels. I remember. So I actually just had this conversation yesterday. I always thought, like, you saw movies where there's people who, you would feel on the outside are overreacting to a certain situation, or they're uncomfortable, or they're just freaking out or having anxiety attacks, and I would always judge from the outside, like, come on, dude, like, fucking chill out.
Right.
Man up.
Until it happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, the third one, we were in New York, and they had me sign a bunch of liability waivers. Like, oh, if something happens to her, blah, blah. I'm like, what? What's going on now? And there was some personal reasons. It was last minute we went to New York.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't a doctor that she saw regularly. So he took a chance and said, okay, I'll do this delivery.
But
yeah,
you got to sign all this stuff.
correct.
It's kind of scary.
Subconsciously, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Something could go wrong.
Correct.
And this
But
might not be.
consciously, I'm good. I'm like, nah, everything's good.
Yeah.
So I remember dressing up in that whole blue outfit, right? And all of a sudden, I started getting lightheaded out of nowhere.
Is this for the first one?
No, not even. So the first one, I was fine.
Yeah.
I was happy. The second one, I was fine. The third one, I started getting lightheaded. I was like, son of a bitch. No, not now.
Did you eat before?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I can't recall because there was so much traveling. We were in Brooklyn, and the hospital was in Staten Island, and you have to take a fucking ferry to Staten. It was
Train wreck.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best description. So, and this happened again recently with my foot when I had my surgery, and again consciously I'm looking like, ooh, this is cool. He's taking out the stitches. He's just taking out the stitches. So I'm watching like, fucking cool, and the doctor goes, "Hey, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." So you sure? Yeah, like, why are you asking? You just taking fucking stitches out. It's not. There's no blood. There's no gore. Nothing.
Right.
But I'm looking, and he's taking it out, and you kind of feel weird because it's like something's being pulled out
odd
of you.
sensation.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I'm fine. Like, this is cool. This is cool. This is cool. And I'm like almost passing out. What the fuck is going on? And I was like, hey, yo. Dude, I don't feel good. He said, okay, good. Lay back. Like, he knew it was coming.
Yeah.
He knew it was coming.
Like you were fainting?
Yes.
You probably lost color in your face, and he that was the trigger.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn. So anyway, those experiences, now I understand. I'm watching This Is Us, and one dude is like flipping the fuck out because he has this little preemie baby, and he's freaking out. And I'm looking at that situation now. It was like 2 days ago. I'm like, oh, I get it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You from the outside, you go, dude, chill out, calm down, like everything's fine. But you're in that situation, you don't know that.
Yeah.
And your body, and you're in that situation where you're in emergency mode. Get the fuck away from my son. Like, you're trying to find your bearings. You're trying to, because everything is just happening at once.
You're trying to handle the situation.
Correct.
But then at
You
some point, your
automatically,
body doesn't, your body's going to do what it's going to do.
Correct.
And you just have to
It's fight or flight at that
react
point.
with it.
Exactly.
And you can't control it.
So I gain a whole new respect for those moments or a new perspective. If you ever see a dude or someone like overreacting to something, okay, what's going on? He's trying to find his bearing. Try to find that stabilizing, you know what I'm saying? Try to stabilize.
Benchmark.
Yeah.
You know.
No,
I
I gained a whole new respect for nurses and doctors. Not so much doctors, and not that I've ever disrespected doctors, but nurses do 98% of the work. Everything from vitals to cervical checks to pushing to setting them all up, getting them to go to the bathroom, shots, IVs, everything. The doctor literally comes in, okay, we're having a baby. Get me sterile. Here's your baby. It's beautiful.
Sure.
Congratulations. On to the next one. And the nurses, they clean everything up. They make sure you can go to the bathroom. They make sure that the baby's safe. They swaddle them up. They teach you how to do this and do that. And it's like, how in the fuck is that person getting paid so much more when literally all they did was push?
They have the liability. That's
and
why.
They leave.
That's why they take the liability. And every time they deliver a baby, they're going, "That's a new car, and it's my vacation to the Bahamas."
Yeah,
and, you know.
And it's not that doctors don't work hard. I'm not trying to discredit doctors of any practice, but I gained a new respect for nurses because nurses deal with everything from "fuck you, you fucking bitch, I'm having this baby."
Yeah.
To an emotional wreck, to maybe, let's say, people that don't have family in the area, maybe single moms that don't have a boyfriend or husband or whatever there to console them. They deal with, people shit on the table. They deal with people cussing out loud.
First line of defense, basically.
And they deal with so fucking much. And they have, obviously not all of them, but they have, the ones we dealt with, amazing personalities and incredible bedside manner and a lot of patience and a lot of understanding.
Oh, you need that. You need a special kind of personality to do that.
And that's what I told
as a labor and delivery nurse, you have to be like that. And my wife, and she's a nurse, but she's not an L&D nurse, but her focus is patient care. And she reiterates that all the time, is that's her primary focus, and it's always patient oriented. And she's like, fuck the doctor, you need to stop your, stop this, we need to focus on this. And that's, they're patient advocates,
right?
And so that's what you want, especially when you're having a baby. I mean, you need that support and have somebody on your side who knows how to handle these situations. So I
mean, whenever we were leaving, one section, like from I think they call it triage to labor and delivery to the postpartum to Ronald McDonald to leaving. Like, so we had several transitions from different areas, and every time I made sure to tell the nurses, like, you guys are truly amazing. Like, thank you for everything that you've done. It really takes a special individual to be able to do what you've done. Thank you for that.
So, so all you dads out there who are getting ready to have a baby, you can really sweeten the deal here if you bring, like, cookies and all kinds of shit for the staff.
Never even thought about
beforehand, and they will fucking take care of you.
Oh yeah.
They will
set you up. We had a whole box of Starbucks coffees. We had got Krispy Kreme donuts.
I saw that you had the setup before. I remember because you had a planned date.
Oh, so you also was,
so you had that. Yeah.
Like
that's
I said,
pretty cool.
Exactly. Being part of that PPS is so you see the pictures too. I look like shit. She looks fucking amazing.
Yeah,
because it's all planned. So she had her makeup. Yeah. She had her hair there. You know, it's like I'm looking at the pictures. I look like shit. Yeah, I should have visited Josh before that.
You got one shoe on and a fucking flip flop on. Yeah.
I was wondering. I was like, who in the fuck let this bitch do her fucking makeup right before labor? And then I remember, I was like, oh, it was okay. So she had this all planned. Like, correct. Okay, now I get it.
Yeah. After the
but I'm seeing these pictures. I'm like, what the fuck kind of production was this?
Yep. And talk about pictures. Like, this time around, I was like, dude, I am not focusing on taking pictures and videos. And I just want to be there. This is, God willing, the last one I'm going to have.
Be in the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So we got a professional photographer, and it was excellent.
Really?
Excellent. The videos.
I saw that
pictures.
video. Yeah. You showed that to me.
See, we wanted to do that.
That was really cool.
We waited too long, and of course, you never know when it's coming. So
so here's another business idea for you guys out there. Be a freaking photographer in the hospital for the L&D.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you could kill it. Especially people, who just coming in like, hey, we're having a baby.
It's built-in business right there. Because and
if you accepted insurance, could you imagine what you could charge? Like $1,000, $500, $800 for 10 minutes of pictures?
Yeah, it's like those guys at the water parks, and they're like, hey, you want your picture? And like, yeah, let's take a picture. And then you're leaving the park, and you're like, it's $45. Go, fuck you. I'll pay $45.
I spent $200
to
you fucking water park. Yeah, definitely. And it's funny because did you do like an orientation of the hospital?
So
beforehand,
my wife did, because they only did them on Saturdays. Obviously, being a barber, Saturdays are not much of an option
gotcha.
for me.
So you weren't.
So I wasn't able to go. But the cool thing, her stepmom works for Abbott Nutrition. Abbott's a company that makes Similac. They make EAS supplements, stuff like that. And so she's one of the higher ups at that company, and so she knows a lot about babies and women and nutrition and healthcare and stuff like that. So she was able to bring a new level of insight, and they're also one of the hospitals that she supports and actually communicates with. And so she was able to go do the orientation with Jess.
That's a good resource to have.
Dude, having her, I mean, awesome. Especially in postpartum, everything from, breastfeeding to formula to swaddling to, cradle cap, like all the different things that as a new parent, you're like, it's just the worry of the unknown.
Yeah.
Sure.
Dude, she was a great resource.
That's cool.
And of course, her being a mom also was awesome.
Yeah. Sure.
Part of the reason I also brought up the orientation was that's when they're getting you for the photos as well.
Oh, really?
So right at the end, oh, by the way, we have a professional photographer on.
Okay,
It's
so
like,
they are. Yeah. They've got
portfolio. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is amazing. Being the entrepreneurial mindset, I'm like, damn, that's legit right there.
Right.
What they're doing, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And you're like, here, take my money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How
I love
how much
that.
is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love that.
So let's go through this and let's talk about a couple key things here. Especially going to the hospital. If you could go back, what was something that you would bring to the hospital that you didn't prior to? Was there anything that you would change?
I'm trying to look at the difference between the first and the last, because I mean, obviously, everything got better and better.
Sure.
Right.
You improve.
Like I said, the gifts for the nurses.
Yeah.
Again, all her idea, because she's better than me.
All our wives are better than us.
I only show her because she's my
Agreed.
wife. I'm legally obliged to go.
Because trust me, I had better shit to do.
That's a good question. Get back to me on that. Fuck,
All
I'm
right.
thinking now.
Yeah, I don't-
Josh,
I don't-
anything else?
I was just thinking. I don't know of anything.
about you?
I mean, the snacks I think was a cool idea. But again, if you don't plan it, like I'm not gonna keep Krispy Kremes on my dresser for 2 weeks and wait for the baby to come.
Sure.
So
But you
it's
could
like
also do it the
that's
next
cool.
day. Or,
Fucking tips,
Yeah,
tips
that's true.
treats. You
Tips
could
treats.
order some shit.
Oh,
so
that's
even
true.
if you can't bring it, just order that shit, have it delivered to the apartment.
Yeah.
Then the ladies will take care of you.
See, labor and delivery, it's almost impossible because of the timing and how quick it all happens. But postpartum, that's definitely a lot more realistic. I didn't think
Sure.
about that.
Yeah,
but
that's a good idea.
As far as what I would bring, I honestly tried to go as minimal as possible. Like I didn't bring my computer, my iPad, nothing, because I didn't want. I wanted to, like you said, I wanted to be in the moment.
Good.
I think that's important. I mean,
yeah.
you really need to focus on the situation and, try not to relive everything through a screen.
Right.
Be there because it doesn't happen.
And see, it was
Very
so
often.
great that we had, you talk about, was it weird having those moms in there? The amazing part about that was the fact that my mom held one leg, her mom held the other leg. I'm up looking at her, talking to her, in the eyes, whatever. And her stepmom took pictures of the entire thing. Now, granted, we all had an involvement in the process.
Sure.
But it was amazing because everything from the contractions to the labor to postpartum to the baby in the NICU, everybody got various pictures, and they all sent them to me.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
I was able to get. I mean, I've got
You put an album together.
probably 150 to 200 pictures already. I didn't take a single one of them, and so it was amazing to not have to divert my attention.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I mean, I didn't. The only things that I brought other than essentials like contact case, deodorant, phone charger, toothpaste, stuff like that. I didn't even bring clothes. Like I brought extra underwear and extra socks, and that was it. Because the fact that
For you or her?
For me.
For what?
So
To stay there?
yeah.
Because yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
reason being, I only have about 4 or 5 shirts that conceal my appendix
Sure.
carry well enough, right?
Uh-huh. Oh, you carried to the hospital, right?
I carried the entire time.
yeah, of
I
course I
slept
did.
with my carry
Same
because
deal.
I didn't I had the same pair of shoes, same pair of socks, same jeans, same belt, holster,
Yeah,
shirt,
yeah.
everything the entire time. The only thing I changed was my undershirt, underwear, socks. And I'd walk in, same outfit, labor delivery, boom, we go to postpartum. Okay, cool, we're all good. He goes to the NICU, boom, boom, boom. Finally, we get some sleep. And all I did was kick my shoes off, take my contacts out, and I laid down with my head facing the door. And, I laid down with a pillow over my waist so that if my shirt were to rise up, nobody would see anything.
Yeah.
Just kind of make sure it was obviously covered.
Sure, especially.
But the last thing I wanted was to put it in a bag and somebody go in there looking for socks or medication or whatever.
Of course, yeah.
And also I didn't want it to fall out or anything crazy. So I was like, okay, I'm going to keep it on me. Obviously, the whole reason I carry is to be able to utilize it if need be, right? So I don't want to have to be like, oh, shit, where is it at? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I didn't take it off for 6 days. So I didn't
underwear?
need – yeah, I just flipped them inside out.
Inside out, backwards.
Yeah. Take the band off.
Roll it
another
around.
So
song.
you didn't bring an iPad or laptop? It's funny. The first one was like, all right, babe, I got the iPad so you can watch Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
We had a
Nope.
TV.
She slept as much as she could.
Yeah.
Like, there is no time to do anything.
And see, that was the thing,
There's
too,
no
is
time.
the fact that because he was in the NICU, first of all, our minds are going 100 miles an hour, that TV, Netflix is the last thing we're thinking about.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that he had to feed every 3 hours on a schedule.
Yeah.
Breastfeed, of course, so she's got to be there.
Yep.
Plus, the NICU was all the way across the hospital, so it took us a couple minutes to walk there. Of course, she, right after delivery, so she's, taking a little bit longer than, a normal person to walk over there. And then, of course, you got to do a surgical scrub every time you walk in and out of the NICU.
Yeah.
Which takes forever.
Really?
Yeah, they make you take all your jewelry off, take any jackets off. You have to scrub, like, from your fingers up to your elbows, these little scrubbing pads.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow.
So anyway, we had to do that. And then the thing is, you have to feed him every 3 hours. So our schedule was 8, 11, 2, 5, 8, 11, 2, 5, right? Mm-hmm. But thing is, he would eat for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hour and a half. So he'd eat for an hour and a half. We'd walk all the way back to the room. We'd sit down. We'd have 45 minutes till the next feeding.
Sure.
And it takes us 10 minutes to get there and scrub in. So it's like we'd have 30-minute sessions where we would try to sleep. But if we had family there, of course, they want to see him. They want to take pictures. They want to hear what's going on. They want to get an update, whatever.
Yeah.
So we were trying to get as much sleep as possible, but we probably averaged maybe 3 to 4 hours a day at best.
Yeah, that's to be expected.
So it was,
you
as
can't
much
sleep
as,
in a hospital anyway.
Yeah, had he not been in the NICU and had things gone a little more, normal, I contemplated bringing my laptop so I could get some shit knocked out while she was just sleeping or breastfeeding or doing things that I really couldn't be involved in.
Yeah.
But there was none of that time. So I was like, well, fuck it. I barely had time to return texts and calls. You know what I mean? The time when I called you was, 3-4 days after delivery, and that was only...
Oh, I guess I'm still his friend. All right. I'm just kidding.
Well, everybody's situation is
Man.
different.
Yeah, definitely.
You're gonna go. Sometimes you're gonna have time to, you have hours with nothing going on because you're just waiting. So
sure,
definitely bring a book or something like that. Throw that in your go bag, if you will. But then again, like you said, there's some times where you don't. It's just fucking go. And next thing you know, you got a kid, and you're like, holy shit! 8 hours went by in the blink of an eye.
Yep.
Yeah.
So trying to be prepared, don't over prepare.
Yeah, I strongly
definitely
urge
the key there.
Fathers that either haven't been through that process or are haven't or going to go through it again. Be in the moment, man. Don't worry. Granted, the treats are great, and the iPad is great, and all these other things, they are phenomenal. And if you can do them, fantastic.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's you, it's your wife, girlfriend, whatever that situation looks like, and the baby. Yeah. And that's experience the contractions. Experience the fact that this is kind of new for me, but I just felt like there was nothing that I could do for her, but me being there helped so much.
Oh yeah,
me not being on my phone, me
you're the
not
rock.
doing all these other things.
You've got to be able to provide the support that she needs.
It's funny you say that because the third one, I remember I'd left because she was finally going to rest, and they had a baby. She was fine. I had a massive migraine. It was pulsating. I was so stressed out traveling from borough to borough. And I remember coming back the next day, and she threw her phone. She said, "Take this fucking phone away from me. Delete Facebook right now." What's going on? I said, "Babe, what's going on? What's happening? I'm ready." She goes, "I spent hours on fucking Facebook talking about my daughter while she's sitting right there, and I'm not appreciating her.
Right.
I'm done.
Yeah.
So definitely be there. It's ridiculous.
And see, we didn't post
have
anything until he was almost a week old, mainly because he was in the NICU. But
of course.
The last thing we were focused on was Facebook and texting people back. That was it's first of all, it's my wife is number one, baby's number two, everybody else is 3, 4, 5, and so on.
Sure. I reverse that. Baby number one, she's an adult. She can handle herself. I'm just kidding. But yeah, just be there. I think that's the best advice.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Don't fucking.
There's nothing that you can do. There's no clothing or video or a piece of technology or food or anything that can replace your presence. And the thing is too, a year, 10 years, 25, 50 years down the road, you're never going to be able to get that back. You're always going to be wondering, could I have bonded better with that child? Could our, of course, in a worst case scenario, let's say, you and mom split, could that have been the beginning of what created that wedge we never bonded that way.
Yeah.
You know, you're close with the baby. I'm not really close with the baby because I wasn't really there. Whatever. You know what I mean, just fucking
butterfly effect
just be immersed. You know what I mean?
That's another episode.
Soak the moment in.
No, I hear you, and it's funny you say that because maybe partially like why she was going on Facebook was I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She was looking for that connection, and everyone's saying hi. Oh my god.
She needed
blah,
some
blah, blah.
support, and she was looking out,
You know,
on
and-
social media for that. So I get it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, be there. Be
And
in
see,
the moment.
we were very, very
Put your phone
lucky
down.
to have both
Yeah.
my parents there, both her parents there, her stepmom there, her brother there, my aunt there. I mean, we just had such a support group
yeah.
that, I mean, I guess we just got really lucky because again, being from Texas, having my whole family in Texas, I don't realize how much of a benefit that is and how much of a rarity
Huge.
that is.
Like I said, I've traveled,
Yeah.
and my family was not there for the first few.
Yeah. And I couldn't imagine going through what we went through without our family there. Like, that was
yeah.
huge.
We
Oh
didn't
yeah,
have-
this
we
time
didn't-
around, forget it. Like
Yeah, we never had family.
And that's
It was always
everything.
after the fact.
After
They
the
would
fact.
come visit and help out, and that was
Yeah.
great. But
And
during
see,
the birth,
it's
no.
everything
No
from,
family.
rubbing her back while I'm holding her hand or talking to her or just letting her sleep or bringing us food or going to the house and checking on the dog. Just all those little things. And even just the support, of course, like I said, having her stepmom there talk about formula and lactation, all that kind of stuff. Like just everything that people brought, whether it was an item or just a mentality or even just an ear to listen. You know what I mean? Like everything was huge.
We're getting close to the end. Did you want to talk real quick about your experience?
No, you guys
yeah?
nailed it all. No, I put
No?
my little
tidbits? Okay.
my tidbits in there. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you remember every
Hell
every...
no, and that's why I'm not talking about it. I have to go through pictures to
You don't wanna
remember that
butcher
shit. Yeah, I'll bring my wife in on an episode. She can tell the stories because I suck at. I don't remember all the details.
Sure.
Yeah, I remember little clips of like, what the fuck? Oh my god. You
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
kid. I'm cleaning diapers or wiping ass and
Yeah.
that's what I remember. It's
Yeah.
kinda
So like little clips. Yeah.
yeah.
Makes sense.
You guys, you guys have a memory, like steel trap. I don't. It's all it's all compartmentalized.
You're like, we did have a
After
baby,
every
right?
episode, my wife's like, "What the fuck? You didn't tell this? You don't tell this?" I'm like, "I don't remember. I'm sorry."
You should prepare beforehand and look through your photos.
I do.
Yes,
I
that
do. I do.
happened.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll research the topics and have
Get
everything.
bullet points?
Yeah, I need to. I'm telling you. Watching videos.
That's funny.
Cool. All right, guys.
All right.
Well, thanks. It's been good.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
What, been
Sorry for
2,
the
3
delay,
weeks?
guys,
Yeah.
but it was worth it. I'm glad I'm back.
Same here, man. All right, fellas. Love, peace, and chicken grease. What up?
That's cool. I like how that faded out like that.
Right?
Is that part of the stream?
Yeah.